Hello watch aficionados, I hope you're all really well. It's been a big day today. It's been a big day in the watch world. Well, it's been a big day in the watch world for the last 12 months. Every 12 months we get to hear some new releases, some new information, who's releasing what, etc. I haven't had much time to sort of get a good setting for this video, so I've gone to my kind of half messy office just to whack this one out basically. What started as my own dedicated office space at home has turned into a baby's room, or a toy room as we call it. We call it a toys room. The baby's got her own room, but it's a toys room. So buckets, random things hanging around. It was meant to be an office with the option of it being a toy room from time to time, but now it's become quite obviously a toy room with a small option of being an office here and there. I can't get any work done in this office anymore. But guys, obviously I'm going to be tackling today's launches. Not all of them. I haven't thrown eyes on all of them, to be honest with you. I've got the SD50 on today. Loving this watch. I do like it. I mean, I like it especially sort of this time in Dubai when the sun's setting, 6 p.m. Watches always look great at 6 p.m. I think when it's too bright, they don't always look that good. So guys, let's just get onto this one. Let's not go down a big Michael story of whatever's been happening. Let's just dive straight into it. I'm going to go into my Instagram account. By the way, it's, what is my Instagram account? My watch one is stillmoon_watches. I'm going to get the elephant out of the room on this one and post my opinion on the green spry left-hand drive, super left-hand drive. Now the date window's on the left as well. What can I say, guys? I was trawling through YouTube last night. I was looking online. A few people were, going a bit crazy, saying, this could be a left-hand drive Rolex. The crown seems to be on this side. What are Rolex doing? Are they messing with us? Have they filmed the watch from the other side? Have they twisted the bezel? If you said, listen, put your house on it yesterday, I would have said, put my house on. There is not going to be a crown on the left or a window on the left. But obviously we now have the left-hand drive Sprite, the Rolex left-hand drive Sprite. I don't know what to say on this one, guys. I really don't. I mean, all I can do at the moment is echo the words of the people in my watch network. And the word is basically bullshit. Listen guys, I've said this before, Rolex could release a piece of poo with a fluted bezel and a glide lock, and everyone would flaunt to the local store to buy it. They really would. I mean, so soon everyone's going to be saying, well, it's grown on me, it's this and that on me. My initial reaction, and I've had this reaction now for 6-7 hours, is that I'm really quite disappointed with it. It is what it is. It is what it is from the Rolex GMT side. In terms of other releases, I haven't gone through them all too closely, but they've changed the deep sea. So the deep sea now has a larger window, or a larger date window, and it has a larger date font. That seems to be the only difference for the new deep sea. They've obviously done the Air King. So the Air King now, they've balanced the dial. They've put a 0 in front of the 5. It gives it that nicer balance of the dial. They've also put crown guards on it. Get ready for old Air King sales, rare, discontinued, non-crown guard version, yada, 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 yada. But this is what keeps, I'm just on the Rolex website while I'm talking to you guys. A tribute to explorers of the skies, the new generation Air King invites wearers to take command of their own destiny. Fuck yes, I'm gonna take command of my destiny. So, we got the 0 in front of the 5, we got the crown guard, And I think it's a little bit, I don't know what I said, it's a bit more slab-sided. The case is a little bit more slab-sided. Listen, I'm not going to lie, I've never been a fan of the Air King. I never understood it. Not my thing. I don't think it's a little pretty watch. I think Rolex get away in the watch community with a lot of stuff because they're Rolex. I mean, like I say, Rolex could release anything with a fluted bezel and we would love it. GMT Master 2, green and black. You know, I was never a massive fan of the green arrow on the black GMT Master. The black GMT Master never really did anything for me. I'm not the biggest fan of green on watches, and certainly if you're going to do some green on a watch, make it a little bit more green. Listen, the colouring is quite nice. Let's not be an idiot here. The colouring is nice on the GMT Master 2, the new one. I just think that we need to live in an upside down world to enjoy this watch. You know, it's kind of like going into a store and seeing loads of nice golf clubs for a good price, and then you realise they're left-handed golf clubs, so you just have to sort of walk away from this bargain of a deal. It comes, obviously you can get it on both the Oyster, you can get it on the Jubilee as well. Nothing else to say. I mean, I'm just in shock that they've even put the date on the left. I think it would have been okay, the crown being on the left, you know, that novel value, whatever, but the date as well, it's just not my thing. But people being people, in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe less, probably less, everyone's going to be saying how much the new GMT Master has grown on them. They will. They're like, oh, it's grown on me, it's so different, you know, all that crap. The Day-Date 40 Platinum, I think that this was always a really nice watch, and what made it stand out to me was that it had this kind of simple yet complicated element to it of the President bracelet, which is beautiful. But what complemented it so nicely is that it had a smooth bezel. And I reckon a lot of people will want the fluted bezel because they feel like they're getting that sort of full option, best of the best, black leathers, heated seats with cooling function type thing. But in my opinion, sometimes a little bit less can be more. And I think the Platinum Day-Date was prettier with the smooth bezel. It was just a prettier watch. That's all I've got to say on that one. Open to everyone's opinion. Go for the comment section below. The Yachtmaster 42, I think what have they done to it? I don't know if I'm imagining it, but have they done something to the dial on the Yachtmaster 42? I should know this, but guys, I've been at the beach all day with friends who are visiting, and I couldn't be sat online non-stop doing the whole watch thing. And then the Datejust 31, nice, I like it, you know, a little bit of variety, a bit of spice in terms of the dial. You know, it's very pretty, it's nice. I like that a lot. I could imagine buying that one day for a missus or whatever, you know. I think it's got the floral motif, however you say it. So it's got dials in 3 different finishes: sunray, matte, and grained. I mean, it's pretty, it's different. This is what Rolex have always been about historically, you know, releasing these different dials. It looks pretty, unique, you know, they're around for a certain amount of time. So that's impressive. I think that's all there is from Rolex. I mean, it's not so explicitly mentioned on their site, but you know, the deep sea, I'm curious what the deep sea in person is going to look like with the new window and larger font for the date. That's interesting. What I think I have been quite impressed with this year's launch is the Black Bay Pro, the 39mm Black Bay Pro. I was obviously hoping for a Diet Pepsi GMT. I was hoping that they'd go for a 39 GMT. I don't know why Tudor, I just fancy a bit smaller. I don't mind larger watches. I have a 44mm Panerai. I rock the 43mm. What is this? Sea Dweller. But I think sometimes with regards to being at work and wearing a shirt, traveling in, you know, in cold air, you know, in a plane, you know, different AC and all that, my wrists, you know, they change size. I think 39-40 is quite a nice size. I've had that size before. I have it with my 2009 Sea Dweller, 2008 Sea Dweller. Anyway, I think it's a very nice watch, and damn, does it look like an Explorer 2. I mean, that looks so much like an Explorer 2, seriously, like, I mean, I know it's meant to have Explorer 2 written all over it, but, you know, an Explorer 2 in which you can actually explore and bash it around, why not? Why not? It's a nice looking watch, and I've already spoken of Tudor. I've put my name on a list for the Black Bay Pro. I like the size of it. I was considering a Black Bay 58 blue one, but I got tired of dive watch looks, so I kind of just didn't buy one when it came in. And the Black Bay Pro looks quite interesting. What they've changed as well for the Tudor Black Bay Pro, and maybe some of the other Tudor ranges, that they've got basically a glide lock now. They've got a glide lock system in the Tudors, so it's got that really easy adjustability for when you need to, adjust your bracelet, +1 millimeter here or there. That's really cool. I like that a lot. I do it a lot on the Sea Dweller. When I'm in the sea, I have it a little bit tighter if the water's cold. When I'm out and about walking, I might loosen it a bit. I think it's really cool, that sort of thing. I think, in terms of what interests me from a watch perspective, and I know it's really selfish, I should probably cover more watches, but that's the most interesting. They've obviously got kind of like a root beer Tudor now, so they've got the Tudor GMT, like the Pepsi one, but they've added gold to it, so it's steel and gold. I'm not quite sure. I think in certain photos it looks really good, but I'm just looking at it again. It's they're giving us the Rolex of old that we like, aren't they? But we just can't get the Rolex that we want. It's just such a fight we're all having to have internally with ourselves, in terms of, this is the watch we want, but it's not quite the brand we want, but it's the brand's sister, so maybe I can have it, but deep down I won't be happy if I don't get the Rolex. It's such a loop in our heads, guys, isn't it? It's nice that the steel and gold Black Bay GMT, it really is quite nice. But I've never had a steel and gold watch. I've almost bought one, but I think for a reason I just haven't ever gone there. I would have liked to have had a 39mm GMT. I would have liked to have a 39mm GMT from Tudor. But yeah, guys, listen. I thought I'd just get a quick video out. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'm sorry it's not more of an in-depth video, although amazingly this video is already 13 minutes long. I think what's going to be obviously the talking point for the next few weeks is definitely the Sprite. As everyone says, everything new from Rolex is made of unobtainium, so we're basically just spectators. We're an audience to see what happens with the ADs and the grey market. And that's kind of just the way it is. I've had some really interesting stories recently. I know one guy shared a story where another person was an AD in the UK. And I think in a space of 1 year, this person had bought over 20 GMT masters under their own name. They were working for the AD. They were quite high up in the AD. I don't want to share too much information. I might pinpoint the person, but they obviously got fired. But I think after a year, they were found to have at least sold themselves 20 GMT masters. So the profit on that would have been big. Other stories involve people selling themselves rainbow Daytonas and all this sort of stuff. And then we really are in a bit of a black hole maze on this one with the whole Rolex scenario, guys. So listen, I think I'm not gonna keep this alive any longer, but the Air King is an interesting one. It looks nicer now to me than it did before, although I don't like the Air King personally. I don't understand it, but I caveat that each to their own. Each to their own. It's just not my thing. It's just not my thing. I think it looks nicer now than it did before. GMT Master 2 covered. Platinum Day. I always really liked this watch. I always really liked the Day 40. I think the fluted bezel, it doesn't make it look nicer, in my opinion. It just doesn't. I think smoother looked better. Smoother looked better, guys. But all right, guys, listen. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I will try and post more, as I'm trying to try. and have a fantastic week ahead. All the best. Thanks. Bye.